The MK MMA experience, the Master Keys experience.
Life-changing.
Treat. Life-changing.
Just love the whole thing. Life-changing to 6.
Mark Victor Hansen liked to say, may your day be filled with miraculous opportunities. And I thought about that for a long time. Mark Victor Hansen was one of the co-authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and I learned a lot from reading his stuff. But I never really fully agreed with that. And I believe that miraculous opportunities aren't something that happen by accident. They're a choice based on your consciousness. Aloha, I'm Mark J. And we're coming to you from our lanai here in our home in beautiful Kauai, Hawaii, to address some questions about the Master Key experience, which begins at the end of September. And we know some of you are considering it. There's already a big buzz about it, which is very flattering, already almost 2 months ahead of time. And yes, it's all scholarship. Everybody's tuition for the upcoming year was prepaid by the previous members. So it's really more about a commitment to a 6-month program. And I think one of the payoffs that would really be good for you to know about is the fact that you are surrounded by miracles. And that's basically the difference that I have with Mark Victor Hansen's statement, may your day be filled. It actually is filled. And it really begins with understanding that human beings, somehow because of our schooling and so forth, we actually know more about this, our cell phone, than we do about the greatest mechanism on the planet, which is here, and what your mechanism, your brain, is actually housed in. So here's the deal with miracles. Miracles are surrounding you all the time, and it's really just the thrill of perception. And people that go through the Master Key experience, and I'm going to show you where you can read over 12,000 posts, not that you would, to follow what happened to people to realize not only are they a miracle, but their life is surrounded by miracles. So let's back up a little bit and talk about a little bit of science. I love getting in the classroom here. Okay, so when your mommy and your daddy got together, there were approximately 200 million little cells that went from daddy to mommy and made you. That means that your chance of being born was 1 in 200 million. Now, that might be common knowledge for some of you, but just think about it for a second. The chance of you being here right now, viewing this video, is 200 million to 1, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just sort of probability. What about the miracle that I'm talking about? Well, here's the thing. You see, you can't recognize something that's not in your consciousness, and the Master Key experience is going to help you fully integrate. I'm going to give you some information in a minute that proves you're a miracle and simultaneously a total illusion, which is fantastic. But once you understand who you really are, not the conditioned soul or spirit that you've been morphed into like I was and everybody else by the schools, governments, and well-meaning parents, but the hardcore reality is we've forgotten who we are, and we spend more time trying to figure out how our car works, how our cell phone works, how apps work on our cell phone, than we do realizing who we really are, which is this magnificent light that's just stunning. And when you can realize that you're a miracle, and that the miracle of your birth doesn't have to end when you were born. You know how people say all the time when they see a new baby, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. Well, why does the miracle that took place 9 months before 200 million to 1 shot, why does that have to end when you're born? The reason it does is we forgot who we are. So let's talk a little bit. First of all, your entire body is made up of 6 pretty common elements: oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. You can find them everywhere. Now, here's the thing that's really interesting. Inside the human body is approximately 37 trillion cells. Now, it gets even more interesting, and we're going to come back to these atoms. Each one of these cells is comprised of 100 trillion atoms, okay? So if you do the math here, you get 37, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's how many pieces of matter are inside you. Now is when it gets really interesting. You know how when you were in school, they showed you here's the nucleus, which is protons and neutrons, and that the electrons were circling around that. This model is completely wrong. I want you to think of an orange, okay? And I'm looking at some right there. If the nucleus was the size of an orange, what size would these electrons be circling around it? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. This model, according to Britannica and all science, is definitely wrong. It's so wrong, it's unbelievable. What does that mean? It means that the diameter, the average atom, is anywhere from 4 to 20 miles. So think of an orange, and the electrons going around it would be anywhere from 4 to 20 miles apart. Now here's what's really interesting. This right here, the matter, makes up 0.05% of you. This means that 99.5% is nothing. How does that happen? Well, this is how it happens. These electrons circling around there are moving at a rate of speed, are you with me now? 40,000 miles per second. 40,000 miles a second. So, how does this tie into miracles? Well, first of all, let's just think about it this way. You're 99.5% nothing. This right here, this post, this pen, you, is 99.5% nothing. How does it hold together and seem solid? It's because this electronic cloud moving at 40,000 miles a second is flawless. So that the oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus in you only appears to be solid, and you don't disappear into atomic dust because it operates perfectly every second of every minute of every hour of every day. Basically, inside you is this number of particles moving in perfect harmony. What's the only thing that's not in harmony? Right here, between our ears. So Master Key Experience members, what they start to understand is they get this on more than an intellectual level. I mean, think about, this is how many particles in you, and of all these particles, it is 99.5% nothing. Now it gets even more crazy because the space between atoms is actually larger than the 4 to 20 mile radius, which means life is not a struggle. It's simply a wiggle. This pen is wiggling constantly. This body is wiggling constantly. And all we have to do, and what happens in the Master Key Experience, is you learn how to get in harmony with your true nature. And your true nature is perfect. It's miraculous. How can this, let's review, be considered anything but a miracle? First of all, you're a 200 million to one shot, and that one cell divided into 37 million cells that replace themselves at least once a year, that are comprised, each one of those cells, of 100 trillion atoms, all moving in perfect harmony. The Master Key Experience will help you get in perfect harmony with your true nature. And when you do, and you start to realize this is not a miracle, this defies the imagination. It defies the imagination. How does it all work? It works this way. The reason that it works is the source that drives this energy is something that's in you, it's connected to you, and you just need to learn how to leverage that. Now, what you can do, what I'd suggest you do, is you evaluate whether or not you want to make a 6-month commitment so that the miracle of your birth gets extended into everything, everyone, and every place that you go. And you are, like other Master Key members, you just simply light up everywhere you are, because you realize not only are you a miracle, but the person that you're talking to is also operating in perfect harmony with the universe. And what does that mean? It means it works because these things, no matter what, behave according to their own true nature. And your own true nature is greatness. So what I suggest you do is hit the guide page. Two suggestions for you. Hit the guide page or the blog page and blog roll page, and go back to the first blog that one of these people wrote. They all wrote a minimum of 26 to 30 blogs over the 6-month period, and read their story and see what happened to them. See if it's something that looks like you'd like to have happen to you. The second thing is get on the MKMMA. If you didn't opt in for that 7-day mental diet, hit the MKMMA link up there and opt in. And the reason that you want to do that is obviously, since it's all scholarship, we end up turning away several hundred people a year because we give people one-on-one guidance with a certified guide, and that's also at no charge. So basically what you want to do is make sure you get early notification. I'll get your early notification. Okay, so I'm not going to say may your day be filled with miraculous opportunities. All you have to do is realize that you are a miracle, and as soon as you do, you'll see it in everywhere and everyone and everything, and it'll be a great day. Be great today. Peace be the journey. By the way, leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel about being a miracle that's a 99.5% illusion. Amazing, isn't it?
MKMMA course is just the right way to go.
Absolutely life-changing, guys.
To help your dreams come true.